scaling a business, keeping track of your inexperience, defeating the competition, and honeybees. We've got a huge show for you today, so let's get right into it. Hit it, James.
Brad Johnson Show. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Blast off. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show.
I'm Brad Johnson, and I'm turning losers like you into winners like me.
The Brad Johnson Show with your host, Brad Johnson.
Get ready to start winning.
And now your host, Brad Johnson.
Hey, I'm your host, Brad Johnson. This is the Brad Johnson Show, and I'm here today with the assistant to the host, James Kirkland. Welcome.
That is me. I'm James Kirkland.
To the Brad Johnson Show, where we turn losers like you into winners like me by answering the questions that you have with my answers that are really good. All right, man. James, how was your week?
My week was fantastic. It's really hot outside, so it's good to just sit indoors with a nice cold kombucha.
That's kind of boring.
Just work on my laptop.
I had a bunch of guests over, and it was just doing some entertaining. I'm pretty good at that. Got the I don't know. I find just over some meat and cheese trays that are very expensive and high dollar that people really open up to you. You ever found that?
Definitely, that's the best way to get information out of people.
Well, and just to network and really, close the friendships and make them concrete so that you can get the kind of business favors that you need at other times. Anyway, you run into all types when you do sort of networking activities like that. And, a lot of people are pretty nice, but not all of them are. I had this person. So I was getting stuff ready in my kitchen and just kind of walking around. And it was...
which kitchen?
Yeah. Sorry. The one on the third floor patio. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we were up there, and the one of the people that was at the event, she was just like, "Oh, this kitchen is too small," and I'm like, "Listen, girl, this kitchen is bigger than your future. Like, this is you don't have anything to worry about that." Yeah, exactly. So. Oh man, it was a kind of eye-opening. She left the party shortly thereafter. And I don't think she got any networking done. So I think that's pretty sad for her. Anyway, on the show, I hope you salvage the records that is your life through my tried and true answers that are guaranteed to change your life, maybe even for the better, through the answering of your questions. But before we get to those, it's time for a word from our sponsor. All right, James, it's been a while since we've done a burning question episode, and they have just been igniting like crazy.
Oh, yeah. We've got so many questions just cascading in to the inbox. We've got a lot to get through today.
So much fire all over the place. But you know what I always say about fire? James, what I always say about fire?
Fire. That it's fire is only as hot as the fuel that you put into it.
Exactly. And the emails burn very well. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so let's just jump right into these because... oh, man, I can just feel the answers swelling up inside of me.
Yes. All right, well, our first question is about your company. So, how did you scale BJS Enterprises so quickly?
Oh, man, that is something that I could write a book about. And actually, I surprisingly have actually written a book about that. It's called BJS Enterprise, Scaling from Zero to Billions Without Hardly Trying. And it's a really, really good book. Anyway, but yeah, how did I do that? I would say go get
Riveting.
the book for the whole story. But I would also say that the biggest thing to focus on as you're scaling is what kind of scale are you looking for? Like there's 10 to 1, there's 100 to 1. Are you going to stop there? Are you a 3-digiter?
Right.
That's what I ask people. Like, what kind of digiter are you? And they're like, I don't even know what that is. I'm like, well, that says a lot right there.
You better find out. Are you a bathroom scale? That's another question to ask yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I find many people are, and it's really disappointing.
You just let people walk all over them.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way to live life. That is no way to live life because there's so much more, and you got to get it by actually scaling. And, it's not about the speed, even though it is. Because if you do it slow, it's kind of lame. But it's not so much about the speed as it is about the size. So you want to scale fast, but you want to scale big. Because if you scale small in a quick manner, what's the point?
Exactly. Well, and another way to think about it is like you're scaling entrepreneurship mountain. And you have to take it at the pace that the mountain allows you to. You can't rush the process.
Well, except you can. I mean, I climb mountains all the time. Actually, that's one of my big hobbies, and I find that they are always, I don't know. I feel like I kind of boss mountains around a lot of the time. So, yeah, it's all about your personality and really just being able to take a bull by the horns and just do what you do with it when you have it there by the horns.
Makes sense.
Okay, next question.
You mentioned that everyone should publicly keep a record of their journey, but isn't showing everyone that you are inexperienced hurtful when looking for paying clients?
Oh, man. I think this person might have read my mind. That is so good. Okay. So, there's so much into this question right here. Keep a record of your journey. Okay. So why would I say something like that? Because people need to know what success looks like. And that's why I've, kind of documented my progress through this podcast. You've seen me, grow, and it may not have seemed like it was possible for me to grow just from the amazingness of where I started, but I did. I still managed to do it. So I've documented that, and people have been like, whoa, he's like still growing, even though I thought he couldn't. And so that has been an inspiration to a lot of people. And, it's just kind of what I do. So
Exactly.
that's the kind of journey that I'm talking about, because there's many different types of journeys. I mean, there's, long ones, there's short ones, there's epic ones, there's homeward bound ones.
Of a lifetime.
Yeah. There's even bands that are, and, all sorts of different stuff. So
The one that's saying just don't stop believing.
Exactly. So all kinds of different journeys. The ones you want to document are the ones that are the winning journeys. Because your inexperience is going to be hurtful. If you're if you're going to clients and they're like, okay, let me check you out online, and they check you out online, it's like, whoa, you failed a lot.
Well, and the thing is, I think the question says a lot about this person. The fact that they're equating inexperience with the start of their journey. That if you're inexperienced starting out, you're starting out wrong. Like, you need to start out on the right foot and not be inexperienced, and you won't have this problem.
Yeah. But I'd say definitely, first, before you actually do that, you want to check to see which dominant foot you have. Like, if you're not right foot dominant, you don't want to start on the right foot.
Exactly.
Because you could just trip and fall, and yeah, that would be super lame. So don't do that. But so figure out which foot is dominant, and then go ahead and begin. So yes, there you go. All right. You want your clients to look at you and be like, wow, not like, oh, okay. that's two extremes right there. Next question.
All right. How would you market a company that makes custom independent Instagram videos for businesses? I like this case study.
Yeah, no, I love this, and it kind of cracks me up. I see people kind of trying to sneak in a little question here and there, and be like, try and get some free coaching. And I say, I offer business coaching. That is one of the things that I am very good at and do on a retainer basis. So, hit me up for that. But I'll give you a little tidbit because I'm a nice guy. So, how would you market a company that makes custom independent Instagram videos for businesses? Oh man, this is just right up my alley. You know how I've been talking about Instagram lately, James.
Oh yeah. Well, you're literally just dominating the Instagram game at this point. I mean, look out, Demi Lovato.
Whoever she is, yeah. So definitely know how to do Instagram, and I think it's ripe for disruption at this point in time, because the algorithm stuff is a thing, and they're also just trying to differentiate themselves in the crowded space of the internet. So there's a whole bunch of things there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I think a big part of marketing that kind of business is just making samples. So make lots of samples that use great stock of video clips of expensive, cars and resorts and yachts, that type of thing. That's a really good way to make people believe that you're actually doing work for high quality clients.
Yeah, and it's worked for Costco. They got their sample game on the A level. So Yeah, look at Costco.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to be there, then yeah, make it happen. So, all right, next question.
How would you deal with a co-founder who is lame and doesn't want to take chances?
Oh man, ditch them. Oh man, can I be more direct? I mean,
Pretty
seriously.
straightforward.
Yeah, just that is a waste of time waiting to happen.
It's honestly, I would call them a co-flounder instead of. Get it? It's a
a fish. Yes. So,
yeah.
but fish are high in
joke.
omega-3 and stuff like that. So I'm not sure why that is a derogatory term. I think fish.
But from a business standpoint, a fish typically isn't a beneficial.
Well, but there are big fish in the pool. In a small. If you have a big fish in a small pool, I mean, you're for trouble. Like they're going to beat you. So
that's another way to look at it, I suppose.
Let's just leave the metaphors to me. Okay. All right. So I say just get rid of them. Boom. There. Answered. Next question.
How do you deal with competition and the haters out there?
Oh man, how do I deal with them? I deal with them the same way that I deal with a lot of things in life. I just ignore it. And, that has worked in so many areas. Didn't work as well with the tax area. Anyways, but yeah, as far as haters and stuff, like you just got to ignore them. But then when you do pay attention, decimate them like with your words.
Yeah, social media slapdowns. We talked about that quite a bit. That's a great approach. Really, really talking down to the person, making sure they understand that they're inferior. Those are great ways.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Make it happen, people. Because if you let them off the hook, they're going to do it again, and they're going to do it again. And where does that leave you? Except Loserville. That is not where you want to be.
Exactly.
All right. I think we got time for one more question. Let's knock this out of the park.
Yeah, so this was an email we got, a little lengthier one, but I think it's important. It says, "Hello, I work with a bank in West Africa. I have a business transaction for you. In my department, we discovered an abandoned sum of $8.5 million in an account that belongs to one of our money. Yeah, in an account that belongs to one of our foreign customer who died along with his entire family in car bomb in Iraq. Since his supposed next of kin died alongside with him at the bomb blast, there was nobody to claim the leftover balance in the account. It is therefore upon this discovery that I and other officials in my department decided to seek your assistance and present you the bank as his next of kin. If you accept, I would give you the guidelines of how we achieve this transfer of the balance, $8.5 million, to your account, and we will share the money 50-50. I expect that you will give me your telephone number and fax numbers for easy communication with you and for more details. Kindly reply to me with this, my alternative email address, mrabu887@gmail.com.
Wow. That is a lot to take in right there. I mean, car bombs and $8 million, and my goodness. Man, there's so much that happens in this world that we don't even hear about. Did you? I didn't see that in the news at all.
No, I didn't know anything about a car bomb.
Oh, that is crazy. Man, well, people, I think this is a good example. If I go in on this guy and get, myself a cool $4.25 million, like that's the kind of business deal that happens with the Brad Johnson Show. So you just got to be pushing, you got to be going for it. So James, let's get on this. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, we actually already sent the email, so we should have the money transferred pretty soon.
Awesome. Oh yeah, that's how we do it. We just take care of things, take care of business, and make it happen. All right. Oh, good. Okay. Questions for this week compared to how they usually are. So it's time now for the Wellness Well. This is the part of the show where we just come down to the well and get well, because there's wellness in that well that we are going to draw out and dump all over your head and your body. So come with me to the Wellness Well. Dip your mind bucket in and be healthy. This is where I'm talking with Sky, my good partner and healthy crime, the guy who knows how to be healthy and knows even more than that. He knows insects, which can help you actually be healthy. Sky, how you doing today, my friend?
Brad, I'm doing so well. It's just so privileged to be able to have people draw a deep breath and draw a large bucket full of healthiness from the well.
Mm. Yes. Okay. Man, this is today we're covering a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I'm a sweet guy and I like sweet things. So but I can't do the sugar. I mean we all know that it's gonna kill you.
Exactly. Yep. It already has.
Yep. Yeah, so many people are dead on the inside and they don't even know it, and it's all the fault of sugar. So that's why we turn to more natural alternatives. But you're letting us know that the most natural alternative of honey is under threat right now.
It really is, Brad. It's a pretty sad situation we're facing right now. The bees are dying, people are dying, the world is dying underneath of us, and it's just really tragic.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this here today because this is just something that you brought to my attention. I was like, I got to bring this to the attention of the world and via my podcast because the world listens here to this podcast and they need to hear this information so that they can not. Let's just get into this so that people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so we're talking about honey and how it's created and harvested. So we're talking about a method called the flow hive, and it's a very unhealthy method. It's being used for the majority of the honey that's being consumed. And I'm going to talk about some reasons why this is a big problem. The first one is that they use a plastic comb to collect the honey. And if you think about that, that's so disgusting. I mean, you might have some leftover hair on the comb. Like who wants hair in their honey? Like that is disgusting. So like you don't eat hair. That's not good for you at all. So that's one of the first reasons that this is so problematic.
I get it. Totally get it. Okay, cool. So that's number one, why you don't want to be having this. So let's look at number two.
So Brad, the other reason that this flow hive technique is so harmful is that it creates no communion between the bees and beings of the earth, and that's how we create the best honey is when there's excellent communion between bees and humans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I you can taste the difference. Like most people are like, okay, it's not that big a deal, and it's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely. And see, the problem is that the flow hive automatically collects all of the honey, so the person that's taking care of the bees doesn't have to do any of the work, and it just makes people lazy, and it doesn't give them an opportunity to talk to the bees because that's really what makes the very best honey is whenever the beekeeper talks to the bees and describes what he wants the honey to taste like. It's a very complicated process. It's kind of a ceremony, actually. And that's why they have the smoke that they take out with them when they go to harvest it. It's actually incense because it's kind of a ceremony to minister, commune with the bees.
That makes so much sense. Get it. Awesome. Okay, cool. So for those reasons right there, man, I think it's pretty obvious why you need to avoid something like this, like the plague, because it will give you the plague, potentially.
Exactly. And the problem is it's not expensive enough is another problem. They're not using high quality materials to take care of the bees. Each bee should be taken care of individually instead of as a mass because each one has feelings, and that really should be taken into consideration. Otherwise, the honey is just going to continue to decline in quality.
Yeah. And, people, if the bees die, we die. And that's what I always say. So, exactly. Oh, man. Sky, thanks so much for bringing this to the attention of the people because we need it. We need this information. We need to know. And like you said, you have a list of all the manufacturers on your website that actually use this bad process. So it's kind of the no-no list. So, get that, people. Make sure that you understand where your honey's coming from so that you can get the honey that's not going to kill you.
Exactly. Yeah. And the honey that doesn't have any hair in it. That's what you're looking for. So
exactly.
Yeah, there we have it.
Sticky honey with hair. That's disgusting. All right. Thanks, Guy. We'll talk to you next time. All right, James, did you have any idea about that? That is just horrible.
No, I had no clue. It's scary, honestly. It's just terrifying.
Yeah, so much nastiness in our food that we don't even know about because people just don't seem to care until they're putting something in their mouth and they're like, wait a second, this has hair in it. And that's just horrible. Okay. All right. Well, thanks guys so much for sending your questions. Maybe step it up a bit next time. Make sure they're the high quality that this kind of a show demands. So make that happen. It's on all the social mediums. Get in touch with me or bradjohnsonshow@gmail.com. And it's at Brad Johnson Show all over the place, all over the interwebs of the internet. Thanks so much for listening today, guys. Send in your questions and maybe you'll hear your question on the Brad Johnson Show. Thanks for listening. Ciao.
Thanks for listening to The Brad Johnson Show, where every episode we bring you tips, tricks, interviews, advice, and answers to fix the mess that is your life while helping you stop being a loser and start winning in business, health, and your personal life. Show us your face, tweet us your tweets, and Insta your grams at Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.
If there's one thing that I know, it's business. But I know many things. And I also know that you don't need to worry, because you aren't the only one. You aren't the only business that needs help. You aren't the only person that has a hard time finding the right help at the right price. This is where Business Bloodline becomes your bloodline to temporary and permanent staffing. Business Bloodline specializes in hiring internet workers to creatively solve problems for your business. Business Bloodline does all the vetting and only delivers candidates that make sense for your needs and at a cost that you can afford. But 60 seconds isn't enough for me to tell you why hiring through Business Bloodline is safer, cheaper, and less time-consuming. I would rather show you. To get more information or business consultation, visit businessbloodline.com. If the job can be done on the computer, Business Bloodline can find a match. Visit businessbloodline.com and be sure to tell them that you heard about them on The Brad Johnson Show to get 10% off your first hire. businessbloodline.com. And remember to tell them Brad sent you.